So today Hayleys will take on Maliban Biscuits, two giants in this league. The sun is out. There's a Mercantile League 50 overs cricket encounter today. We are having the 32nd SINGER-MCA Super Premier League. Here's the points table of the tournament. The Hayleys group, Maliban and CDB, sits at the top by winning their first game. Okay. So Osanda Bandara is at the middle. We're having the pitch report.
Right, so it's a bright morning here at Colombo. The MCA grounds is all set for another MCA Super Premier League match. So we got Hayleys taking on Maliban. So let's have a look at this strip of play here at the MCA grounds to see what's on offer for this all-important clash. Now, from the first looks itself, it's a very hard surface and an even surface, and there's not much grass on it as well. There is grass, but it's very dry, so it seems like it's a very hard surface, and the ball will bounce off the conditions really well, and the batters will be able to trust the bounce. So on this pitch, I would say we'll be seeing a lot of runs on this pitch. So the captain winning the toss might probably just bat first, get some good runs on the board. With the day goes on, the spinners might take control of the conditions. But as of now, I think it's a good batting pitch, and the captain winning the toss might probably bat first.
And that's how the pitch looks like for today's game. Yes, so we are having Osanda Bandar again with the two captains in the middle for the toss.
Right, so it's all set for the coin toss here at the centre at the Mercantile Cricket Association ground. So I got here with me the two captains, Sangit Kure, the captain of Maliban, and Ramesh Mendis, the captain of Hayleys, and of course our match referee for today's game, Mr. Basil Perez. So I think the Maliban captain has... yeah, you can go ahead with the coin toss. Tails is a call, and it is tails. So Ramesh Mendis, මොකද්ද තරගේ ඩිසිෂන් එක?
පන්දුර පහර දෙන තමයි ඩැස් වෙන්නේ.
මොකද්ද ඒක තීරණයට බලපාපු හේතු?
මේ විකට් එකේ මැචස් 3-4ක් සෙල්ලම් කරා කියලා රවුන්ඩ් එකෙන් කිව්වේ. ඒ නිසා අපි හිතුවා මුලින් බැට් කරන්න අපිට හොඳ වෙයි කියලා.
Thank you, good luck. මුලින්ම පන්දු යවන්න තමයි හම්බුලා තින්නේ. කොහොමද ඒක ගැන ඔයගේ අදහස්?
ඔව් ඇත්තටම අපි ඉස්සල මැච් එකත් මේ ක්‍රීඩාංගණයේ තමයි මේ පිච් එකේම තමයි සෙල්ලම් කරේ. අපි හිතනවා අපේ එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකෙන් අපි ප්‍රයෝජනයක් ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒ කියලා.
විශේෂයෙන් පහුගිය තරගය ගත්තොත් එimhe හොඳින් චේස් කළා ටෝටල් එක. ඒ කොහොමද කොන්ෆිඩන්ස් එක ටීම් එකේ?
ඇත්තටම කොන්ෆිඩන්ස් එක ඇත්තටම අපේ හයි. මොකද අපේ අලුතෙන් ටීම් එකේ මිලාන් රත්නායක තුලා තියෙනවා. මම හිතනවා අපිට හොඳ සම්බර කණ්ඩායමක් ඉන්නවා කියලා.
Thank you, good luck. Right, so that's the news from the centre. So Hayleys have won the toss and elected to bat first.
And that's the news from the centre. Hayleys have won the toss, and as we expected, they decided to bat first. So let's take a look at the team, the two teams who are playing today. So two umpires out in the middle. Team Maliban is out in the middle of fielding. There's a hot and humid conditions out here. So the two batters are out for Hayleys are Ron Chandragupta, the stylish left-handed batsman who's in red hot form, and Sahan Kosala. The two openers for Hayleys. Both of these teams have won their first game. So it's a very important game for both of these teams. So we'll see at the end of the day who will take the upper hand. But still it's early to predict this game. Both teams are equally balanced sides. Nevertheless, Maliban Biscuits also packed with a lot of quality cricketers. Sangit Kure, the skipper of Maliban, who was named as the best batsman of the SLC Major 50 overs cricket tournament. So this is going to be a cracking encounter. Dhananjay Lakshan, definitely a renowned bowler for his swing, for his ability to swing the ball both ways. He's opening the bowling for Maliban Biscuits. It's a right arm medium fast bowler. This is going to be an interesting challenge between Ron Chandragupta and Dhananjay Lakshan, since he can move the ball both ways. So Ron Chandragupta definitely going to be tested out here. The two new balls coming from either end, so the batters need to be very watchful. Ron Chandragupta, the stylish left-hander, is taking his guard. Here's the skipper, Sangeet Kure. He's making sure everything is 100% accurate. There's a field set. 2 slips are in place for Dhananjay Lakshan. There's no surprise since he can move the ball both ways. Ron Chandragupta is taking the first ball. Here's Dhananjay Lakshan. The economy is quite unlikely, but he's a natural wicket taker, especially with the new ball. And here comes the first ball of the game. Here we go. Here comes Dhananjay Lakshan. Started off with a juicy full toss outside the off stump. Very well fielded by Mendes. Not the ideal start that Maliban Biscuits wanted. As the stats of Ron Chandragupta, it's a healthy strike rate, 10 half centuries and 2 hundreds to his name. It's a brilliant cricketer, brilliant left-hander. It's absolute treat to watch when he starts to get going. Here comes Dhananjay Lakshan. Much better from Dhananjay Lakshan. He's not that express pace, but if he can get the ball into the right areas, he definitely will be a huge contender. Here comes Dhananjay Lakshan with a newish ball. Running in again. That's what I was talking about. This is where he is good at. Water delivery. Ron Chandragupta, nothing he could do. Here's the replay. Pitched on midland leg and moved away. Water delivery. Slip cordon, would love to see that more often. As Dhananjay Lakshan. That's the first boundary of today's game of Ron Chandragupta. That's too much outside leg stump. Easy pickings for Ron Chandragupta. Here's a replay. So way outside leg stump. With fine leg inside the circle. That's absolute criminal from Dhananjay Lakshan. There's no chance for Milan Ratnayaka to stop that. Again, a half volley outside the off stump. Ron Chandragupta had a go at it, but there's nothing much. Here's a replay. There was a little appeal from the slips and the wicket keeper, but umpire was unmoved. The last delivery of the first over. It's a very good start from Hayleys. 6 on the board already. Again, right on the money. A very good finish from Dhananjay De Silva. And the first over is done. Hayleys 6 for no loss. Milan Ratnayaka, who's ready to start the proceedings. Here's a stats, the healthy economy rate. It's a natural wicket taker. Another national colorsman, Milan Ratnayaka. A bright future prospect for Sri Lanka cricket. Comes Milan Ratnayaka, the right arm medium fast bowler. Started off with a wide. That's too much leg side. Sahan Kosala, the right hander, is on strike for Hayleys. Yes, Sahan Kosala. 5 half centuries and 3 centuries for his name. A very good batsman, a reliable batter, top of the order. Here comes Milan Ratnayaka. That's much better. If he can bring that ball closer towards the off stump, things can be much interesting for Milan Ratnayaka. The 2 new balls are coming from either ends, so we can see some more swing from both ends, since both of these bowlers are capable of moving the ball both ways. Yes, Milan Ratnayaka. Again down the leg side. Tried to bowl 2 straight on that occasion. Couldn't get the line right. It's a tall and lanky fast bowler. He get that extra bounce for sure, but he should make sure that his line and length are pinpoint accurate. So hot and humid conditions, it's not easy for the fielding side. Here comes Milan Ratnayaka. Much better, and that's where he needs to be, with 2 slips in place. Eight runs already on the board, and 2 extras already as well. Yes, Milan Ratnayaka. Again, 2 straight. What's an appeal? That was an interesting call from the fielder to go for the run out. And here's replay. Let's see. Oh, he's in. He's easily in. Yes, Ron Chandragupta is facing Milan Ratnayaka for the first time in this game. So this right hand left hand combination would definitely test the opening pair of bowlers of Maliban Biscuits. So how does Milan Ratnayaka deal with this? There he comes. Again, very good delivery, right on the money. Ron Chandragupta, he's in good form. He's a renowned batsman for playing long innings throughout his career. He scored big runs in all formats of the game. Here comes Milan Ratnayaka. Again. Just short of good length and outside the off stump. And easily glided towards third man by Ron Chandragupta. This is a very good over so far for Hayleys. It's 4 runs came. Still a ball to go. Here's the last delivery. Here comes Milan Ratnayaka. Again, that was Apish. That didn't came too quick, and a second over was done. Hayleys 11 for no loss. And here's the two sides, Maliban Biscuits and Hayleys. Maliban Biscuits, the skipper Sangeet Kure and the veteran Chatura Piris, Dhananjay Lakshan, Hiranjay Sundara, Ranesh Silva, Ravindra Shanta, Sahan Arachige, Sandun Taraka Mendis, Sanod Darshika, Vanuja Sahan and Milan Ratnayaka. On the other hand, Hayleys group, Ramesh Mendis, Ahan Vikramasinghe, Inuka Karanagoda, Kavishka Anjula, Lahiru Samarakon, Minod Banuka, Prabhat Jayasuriya, Ravidu Fernando, Ron Chandragupta, Sahan Kosala and Kalana Pereira. Here comes Dhananjay Lakshan. Full outside the off stump. A confident stroke from Sahan Kosala, but straight to the fielder. He's looking good out here. The pitch looks very good. The ball is coming onto the bat. Better than we expected, actually. Here comes Dhananjay Lakshan. Shimmy down the track and deposited for a boundary. Over the bowler's head. Brilliant execution from Sahan Kosala, and that's the first boundary for him. Here's a replay. Just walked across the stumps and hit it straight over the bowler's head. The safest place of the ground. What a way to start. Brilliant execution from Sahan Kosala. That's much better delivery. Just a single down to third man. Very good batting from Sahan Kosala. Just rotating the strike right after getting the boundary. This is Ron Chandragupta. And yes, Milan Ratnayaka. A Sri Lankan cap. Here comes Dhananjay Lakshan, running in hard. A loud appeal, but pitched outside the leg stump. The umpire was not interested at all. The huge appeal from the wicket keeper, actually. Here's a replay. That's pitched way outside the leg stump. Those are easy decisions for the umpire. That was a hit me ball. He missed out boundary option. An attempted slower delivery on that occasion, but read well by Sahan Kosala. And that's what we were talking about, Dhananjaya Lakshan. He has a variety of deliveries. He can bowl slower deliveries and cutters, and also he can move the ball both ways. There's something special about him. He's a genuine wicket-taking option. Here comes Dhananjaya Lakshan. Another slower delivery attempted, but that was wavered one. A wide delivery. Now here are some young cricketers who are enjoying today's game. The young kids from DS Senanayaka College cricket team. So right next to MCA is always, again, very good delivery to finish things off. 3 overs done. Hayleys 18 for no loss. An interesting call from the skipper of Maliban. Straight away brings the right arm off spinner against Ron Chandragupta. It's a kind of interesting move since we are in just the start of the game. Still, we are having the new ball. Just a 1 over from Milan Ratnayaka from that end. An interesting call. He brings Sahan Narachige into this attack. A right arm off spinner renowned as a partnership breaker. Another national cap. Here comes Sahan Narachige. One slip in place. Shortish one. Just a single down to backward point. And this is going to be interesting. A right hander against a right arm off spinner. We are still in the first power play. Only 2 fielders are allowed outside the 30-yard circle. Again, ball into the pads and easy pickings for Sahan Kosala for another single. It's very good stuff from Hayleys. Let's keep the scoreboard moving. So far, this is a very good start from Hayleys. They're scoring at a runner ball. A loosener there, but hit it straight to the fielder. Could have been a boundary. It's Ron Chandragupta hardly misses those kind of deliveries. Here comes Sahan Narachige. much better from Sahanara Chige. That didn't turn and went straight on with the arm. That was too close to cut, but somehow Ronchandra Gupta survives. And another single down to short third man. So far, this is a very good over from Sahanara Chige. Sahanara Chige should make sure to finish things off well. Good start from Sahanara Chige and 4 overs gone. Hayleys 21 for no loss. And Dhananjay Lakshan continues from the other end into his third over. So far conceded 13 runs of his 2 overs, beg your pardon. Comes Dhananjay Lakshan, shot outside the off stump. Missed out a golden opportunity for Ronchandra Gupta. That should have been put away. A real loosener from Dhananjay Lakshan. Here comes Dhananjay Lakshan. 5 wides. An attempted slower delivery from Dhananjay Lakshan, and wicket keeper couldn't grab the ball cleanly and went for 5 runs. A very good variation, but went completely wrong for Dhananjay Lakshan. A costly error from the bowler and also from the wicket keeper. He was unable to read the ball. The ball went right underneath his hands. 5 runs. Pressure on the bowler. Here comes Dhananjay Lakshan. Very good delivery, and that's where he needs to be with his pace. As we have mentioned, he's not a kind of bowler who's clocking 135, 140. So he's relying on the swing and the movement earlier on. So he need to make sure that he pitched the ball on the right length. And the previous delivery is much better. Here comes Dhananjay Lakshan. 2 wide outside the off stump. Full. And a gift for Ronchandra Gupta, the man who's in red hot form. And another boundary. Here's the replay. Wide outside the off stump. Easy pickings for the left-hander. Stylish cover drive. Ronchandra Gupta is 14 runs off 16 deliveries. Going along nicely. Dhananjay Lakshan coming round the wicket. He's changed his angle. This worked quite well. He's tried to cramp up the left-hander by not giving any room. So far, this is a brilliant start from Hayleys. And Ron Chandragupta has tried to push at it. The ball was not there to drive. It was a little uppish. But if there was a catching fielder, things could have been interesting. The two slips have been moved out. Again, 3 dots in a trot to finish the 5th over. Hayleys at the end of the 5th, a 30 for no loss. There's a Ron Chandragupta, 14 of 19, and Sahan Khosala, 7 of 11 with the 9 extras. Hayleys, a 30 with a loss of no wickets at the end of the 5th. We are still at the first power play, and from here onwards, Osanda Bandara will take on the commentary.
Has been lifted up that time from Sahan Khosala. Just a quick single. Thank you, Rashka. 5 was done, 31 runs on the board for Hayleys. A steady start, I would say, for Hayleys. Both these batters, Ron Chandragupta and Sahan Khosala, just making sure that they survive out there as much as they can, and at the same time getting those runs when it matters most as well. Getting those 1s and 2s and always keeping that scoreboard ticking right from the start. Now that's a good delivery. Sahan Narachi. So much experience behind that name, Sahan Narachi. So I had a good look into the surface in the morning here at the MCA grounds. Still the early days of the tournament, the MCA Super Premier League 2025. Some of the top teams in the mercantile sector taking part in the tournament. And both these teams, Hayleys and Maliban, have played one match each, and they've won their games quite comprehensively, I would say. Maliban, especially in the last game, day before yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, chased down target against Fairfirst, losing just 4 wickets. So they have that confidence in their batting unit as well. And at the same time, the bowling has been pretty much good as well. Still early days of the tournament, as I mentioned earlier, for Maliban, but they have some good players in their lineup. The likes of Sahan Narachi, Dhananjay Lakshan, and now they have Milan Ratnaik coming in as well. That's a good looking shot once again, just playing the field really well. Gets a single down towards the mid wicket. And that's the end of the over. Just a couple of runs from that over from Sahan Narachi. 6 overs done, 31 without loss. Three bowlers used so far. Milan Ratnaik, just 1 over for him. And Dhananjay Lakshan and Sahan Narachi. Already a spinner coming in. Sahan Narachi is a handy spinner and can be utilized almost anywhere. Of a series against Zimbabwe.
in the one day. Didn't get a chance, but has been an integral part of Sri Lankan team in many different formats, especially in Test cricket. Coming in as a handy all-rounder, so that will definitely strengthen this Maliban squad even better into this Super Premier League, the MCA. There we go, just a hint of swing away from Sahan Kosala, that, or rather Ron Chandragupta that time. He's been very strong through the offside, Ron Chandragupta, especially when the ball is full on the offside. He's not afraid to drive that ball towards the covers, and we've already seen a couple of wonderful drives through those covers, extra cover region. So it tells you that the confidence is there with Ron Chandragupta. He's on 15, has taken his time, 25 deliveries, but nothing wrong with that. Quick 2 runs there, good run in between the wickets. Ron Chandragupta and Sahan Kosala. Sangeet Kure, the captain, the standing captain for Maliban. I've been told Milinda Sirivardhana is not playing today's game. Maliban, of course, the defending champions in the league tournament. So they have a lot of experience, and they have some new players coming in towards the team this year. The likes of Milan Ratnayaka, who was not there the previous year. Now that's a good delivery once again, hitting that corridor with a good bounce. Now this surface will offer some good bounce for bowlers like Milan Ratnayaka, especially in this first hour or so. The conditions will be suitable for the fast bowlers. So Milan Ratnayaka is the kind of bowler who would hit the deck hard and will get the ball to bounce off the surface. And for bowlers like Milan Ratnayaka, this surface, especially in the first hour or so, will give that purchase of these conditions. There we go once again, but this time picked up quite nicely. This will be saved in the boundary. Well, let's wait for the confirmation from the umpire whether it's a boundary or not. Yeah, nothing there from the umpire. So just a couple of runs, but this is a good shot. Sangeet Kure knew exactly where that fielder was positioned. He was positioned in that deep squalic region, and he was careful enough to play it towards the mid-wicket. Well. The fielder quite comfortably touching that boundary line. Last ball of this over. Oh, that's a good delivery. That's an absolute stunning delivery there from Milan Ratnayaka, right in that 4th to 5th stumped region. And Ron Chandragupta had no answers for that. 7 overs done, 36 without a loss. Right, so we got a bowling change from Hayleys. One to Sahan, or rather Maliban, beg your pardon. And it's one to Sahan, another promising youngster. Coming in for Maliban this year. If I'm not mistaken, he was not there in the previous year, in the last year for Maliban. So now they've come up with Vanu Chahan and Milan Ratnayaka for this season, which will definitely strengthen this core. 77 matches, 154 wickets. in the Mercantile Arena for Vanuja Sahan. So much of experience, played for Sri Lanka under 19s as well, and hailing from St. Peter's College, Colombo. A very talented cricketer, I would say. Represented Sri Lanka, emerging team as well, who went on a tour to West Indies not too long ago. That's up in there, and that's gone. There we go. First wicket down, and Vanuja Sahan straight away in his very first over has brought a breakthrough for Maliban. That has gone straight into the hands of that point fielder. And Ron Chandragupta ends up playing it up in there. And there we go. Straight Hiran Jayasundara. Didn't really have to move much that time. Went straight on to his hands, and Hayleys losing their first wicket. Ron Chandragupta is gone for 19 of 31. Vanuja Sahan picks up the wicket for Maliban. Right, so Vanuja Sahan straight away creating an impact here. And Vinod Bhanuka has walked out to the middle at number 3 for Hayleys. 99 matches, 2,825 runs with a strike rate of 90.98. How about that for some statistics from Vinod Bhanuka? He's an absolute powerhouse, Vinod Bhanuka. Hayleys have a packed side this year. The likes of Ron Chandragupta, Sahan Khosala, Vinod Bhanuka have been there in the first class sector for some time now. And Ramesh Mendes, obviously the captain. Prabhat Jayasuriya. Oh, that's been given as a wide. For sure, I think I heard something. Maybe it hit the thigh pad or the pad. But anyway, it's been given as a wide. Oh, that's a good delivery once again. Just enough for spin on offer to beat that inside edge. Vinod Bhanuka still getting adjusted to the conditions. And this is good, encouraging stuff, isn't it, for Vanuja Sahan? Getting some spin on offer early on. There we go, off the edge this time. And coming back for the second run. That's a good over. Just 4 runs coming off from it and a wicket. 8 overs done, 44-1. Milan Ratnayaka. So trying out options, Maliban, very early into these innings. Oh, that's a good delivery once again. Just keeping it straight and hitting the deck hard. I like this from Milan Ratnayaka. He's hitting the deck hard and making sure that the ball rises at least to that waist level. And what it creates in the mind of the batter is a sense of idea that it's going to be a short pitch delivery, and the batters will tend to play that cross-batted shot. But in reality, it's not that short. It's not that short to play a cross-batted shot. So it's an illusion where a bowler can make if he hit the deck hard and get the ball to rise towards that waistline region. Because most of the batters, once they see the ball hitting the deck hard and coming in at around that waistline height, they will tend to play that cross-batted shot. They will try to work that ball towards the square leg region or towards the mid-wicket region. And that's where the opportunities will come for the bowler. Worked away towards the onside this time, Banuka. Banuka obviously has that ability to bat through and to create some lasting impact on this game. And at the same time, he's one of those batters who can play those beginnings, as I mentioned earlier. Can last out there, can see through overs, and to make sure that he bat the entire quarter 50 overs. He has that ability and he has done that. So he has that technical backing, and at the same time the required patience and the experience to do all that. So he has all the elements in line to play a big innings here in this game against Maliban. There we go once again. Very much comfortable behind the ball that time, Banuka. And he seems to be adjusting quite well. 9 overs done. 43 for 1. The coaching staff of Maliban. Looking into this game here at the MCA grounds. They won the first game quite comfortably against Fairfirst. Had to chase, if I'm not mistaken, anything around 174, which they ended up chasing, losing just 4 wickets. Oh, that's a good delivery from Vanuja. Sharp spin on offer for Vanuja. So these are encouraging stuff for the bowler, especially at the early stage of the game. Vanuja Sahan just generating some purchase of the conditions. Quick single this time. And he's getting some good bounce off the surface as well. Even if you look into the previous wicket, the wicket of Ron Chandragupta, that ball bounced really well, and that took Ron Chandragupta by surprise, and he ended up playing it up in there. Vanuja Sahan once again getting some good bounce off the surface. Oh, that's a good delivery. How did that miss the off stump? Minod Bhanuka was just trying to work that ball towards the onside and he missed it entirely. And that ball just snuck through the bat and pad. Oh. A stumping chance as well. So missed opportunity there for Maliban. Ramesh, the wicket keeper, couldn't really hold on to the delivery cleanly that time. Oh, that's a good delivery. That's gone. That's plumb in front. And Minod Bhanuka has to depart just like that. And Vanuja Sahan is making some announcement there right at the centre. It's his second over and he picks up his second wicket. Let's have a look at that again. Sharp spin on offer this time in towards Minod Bhanuka, and that is right in front, and he knew straight away that he has got his man, and Vanuja Sahan picks up his second wicket. Hayleys 44 for 2, and Minod Bhanuka is gone for 3 of 10 deliveries and a wicket. Number 2 for Vanuja Sahan. Right, so in comes another talented cricketer, Ahad Wickramasinghe, 55 matches, 1,903 runs with a high score of 210. You look at those figures, you can surely say that Ahad Wickramasinghe is one of those players whom we should look out for. Still young. Played for Sri Lanka Emergings as well. Played for under-19s, hailing from Royal College. So much experience and so much calm and composure in Ahad Wickramasinghe's approach. 10 overs done. 44 for the loss of 2 wickets. Right, so let's have a look at the last 2 wickets. This was Vanuja Sahan. Once again, that bounce off of the surface really took Ron Chandragupta by surprise. And this is just plumb in front. Minod Bhanuka getting it entirely wrong and playing it on the back foot. So 10 overs done, 44 for 2, and a change of commentary in its direction this time.
An umpire signals, and that's the end of the first power play. Hayleys 44 for 2. They had a brilliant start. At once, they were 30 for no loss at the end of the 5 overs. They're scoring at a run a ball. But all of a sudden, they lost 2 wickets for just 14 runs in the next 5 overs. Maliban is right on top at the moment. Here comes Milan Ratnayaka. A very good short delivery, very well directed. Sahan Khosla, the batsman, it was surprised him. Here's a replay. That very well directed short ball. Milan Ratnayaka, he has some surprising stuff behind him. He's a genuine wicket taker. He's a tall, fast bowler. Again, a little too straight and worked away to the onside by Sahan Khosla. Another single. At deep Sportylk, Ravindu Rasant, the fielder. Another promising batsman is Ahan Wickramasinghe, a tall and lanky cricketer, is renowned for scoring big runs. Is up against Maliban Ratnayaka. He's in a very good rhythm. There he comes. Right on the money. That's where he needs to be. No room for Ahan Wickramasinghe. Maliban is attacking. Let's put one slip in for the new batsman. And also a gully fielder. It's quite interesting, and also the slip has moved a little bit away towards in between second and third slip. Another change. The gully fielder has moved away. Has moved towards a short mid wicket. A slight change of field. That went across right hand. Umpire signals a leg byes. Another single added to the tally of Hayleys. Maliban has done a great job so far since the 5th over to dry up the scoring opportunities for Hayleys. As we mentioned, they got off to a flying start by Ron Chandragupta and Sahan Kosala. Ooh, that was close. Could have been chopped onto the stumps. Lucky escape for Sahan Kosala. The current run rate is 4.25. The scoring has been a little slowed down. But at the moment, Hayleys should look for a partnership from here onwards. The 40 overs remaining, so a lot of deliveries. Comes Maliban Ratnayaka. Another good delivery to finish things off. 11 overs done. Hayleys a 46 for 2. Yes, how things happen so far in this 11 overs. Here comes Wanuja Sahan, so far the talisman of a Maliban bowling attack. 2 overs, 2 wickets for just 5 runs. This is ideal for Wanuja Sahan. 2 right-handers in the middle. This is bread and butter for him. 1 slip in place. A good delivery to start off with, but the slowness of the wicket gave enough time for the batter to rock back and go for that single towards the cover. Again. Look at that. How slow this wicket is. And we can expect some more spin in the latter part of the game. So Hayleys should make sure to score a competitive score. Another easy single. 3 singles, 3 deliveries. This is much better from Hayleys. A very good rotation of strike. As Wanuja Sahan. that's the third. That's Sahan Kosala. That was punched sharply. Pitched on leg stump. And it surprised Sahan Kosala with a sharp spin. And here's the third. Brilliant bowling from Vanuja Sahan. Here's the replay. Push towards leg stump. That was a little bit quicker as well. Sahan Kosala can do nothing about it. He had to play at it. And he departs for 14 runs of 24 deliveries. Hayleys are kind of bothered by Vanuja Sahan at the moment. They are 49 for 3. We are still in the 12th over. The new batsman, the left-hander, has been sent to the middle. Inuka Karannagoda, the new batsman. Here's Inuka Karannagoda, the stats. Good strike rate and a healthy average with 9 half centuries. He's a reliable batsman in the middle order. He's a young prodigy from Mahanama College. Here's Inuka Karannagoda, the new batsman for Hayleys. It's a very good left-handed batsman. Is capable of playing big innings. We have seen enough during his school cricketing days. And here he has a golden opportunity to make a name for himself today as well. 38 overs left. Here's Vanuja Sahan. It's the man who's broken the backbone of Hayleys' batting lineup. Leg slip in place. And a slip is a pretty much attacking field setup. Here's a replay of the previous wicket. There he goes. Sahan Kosala was completely deceived by Vanuja Sahan. A brilliant finish from Vanuja Sahan. Another successful over at the end of the 12th. Hayleys 49 for 3. Milan Ratnayaka continues from the other end. There he goes. A wide signals by the umpire. And with that, the 50 comes up for Hayleys. Ahan Vikramasinghe, a tall batter. And as you can see on the scoreboard, it's 50 up. A wide gully has been placed. Another wide down the leg side. 2 extras to start off with. The skipper Sangeet Kure is making sure everything is pinpoint accurate. Here comes Milan Ratnayaka. A slower delivery. Tried to go for that quick single. Ahan Vikramasinghe. Yes, Milan Ratnayaka. Very well fielded. What an effort from the fielder at deep square leg. That's Sahana Rachige. Down the leg side. What an effort. He saved a boundary for his team. And those are the kind of small wins we take during the game, which helps us at the end. Short. Very well directed again by Milan Ratnayaka. Things have started to happen for Maliban. 3 wickets from the other end from Vanuja Sahan, and Milan Ratnayaka has also produced some wicket-taking opportunities. Things are going very well for Maliban at the moment. They are right at the top. Again down the leg side. Another single. Inuka Karanagoda, the left-handed batsman, he's on strike. Solid behind it by Inuka Karanagoda. Oh, what a delivery to finish things off. 13 overs done. Hayleys 54 for 3. Here comes Vanuja Sahan. So far the bowler is in red hot form. 3 overs have been bowled. 3 wickets for 8. 3 wickets in 3 overs. He's having a great day with the ball. And that's the 4th. Ahan Wickramasinghe went for completely unnecessary stroke. Let's go for the reverse sweep. Completely deceived by Vanuja Sahan. Here's a replay. Went through his legs and went straight to hit the middle stump. Thrown his wicket away. Ahan Wickramasinghe departs for 4 runs. Hayleys are in a deep trouble here. 54 for 4. The skipper Ramesh Mendis is the new batsman for Hayleys. Has a huge responsibility on his shoulder. A star cricketer. Here comes Vanuja Sahan. 2 slips in place. Could have been a run out there. Because everything is happening at the middle. Ramesh Mendis got the single straight away and brought the left-handed batsman on strike. Went for a quick single on the very first ball. Quite a calculated risk. Here comes Vanuja Sahan, the star man so far. Stepped out and tried to go for that big shot over the bowler's head. Here's the run out opportunity, but didn't have the power. That throw. Another good delivery from Vanuja Sahan. Again, a sharp spin from Vanuja Sahan, and that's the end of the 14th. 54 at the loss of 4 wickets. Hayleys. And here's a scorecard. It's not looking good for Hayleys. Ron Chandragupta and Sahan Kosala got a decent start at the top, but Vanuja Sahan has completely broken the backbone of Hayleys' batting lineup. Comes Milan Ratnayaka for his 6th over. Right on the money for Ramesh Mendis. Here comes Milan Ratnaik. Again, very good bowling from Milan Ratnaik. It's not giving any room for Ramesh Mendis to free his arms. He's very good bowling. Wickets are coming from the other end, and this is very good bowling from Milan Ratnaik. Bowling dots and keep putting pressure on the batters. The ideal partnership between the bowlers so far. An attempted slower delivery. A good off cutter. Definitely, that's going down. Also quite high as well. Could have been a run out as well, as everything is happening at the middle. Another wide. Tried to go for that bouncer. And went too much. Here's the replay of the run out opportunity. The previous delivery. If he could have been out if he hits the wickets. So everything is happening at the middle. Short outside the off stump. Scores for a boundary. What a shot from Enukakara Nagoda. It was in his zone. He's not hesitated to go after it. Yes, shot wide outside the off stump and hammered it through the covers. Good shot from Enukakara Nagoda. A slight change of field. And also Milan Ratnaik has changed the angle as well. Coming round the wicket. Still one slip in place. The Maliban is still on the attack. Oh, they have already got 4 wickets. And 1 wicket from here definitely would open the door to bring up the lower middle order and the tail. The previous game they restricted the fair first to 170, if I'm not mistaken. A batting lineup packed with a lot of experienced batters. Another short delivery and worked away towards the onside for another single. And that's the end of the 15th. Hayleys 63 for 4 wickets. Beg your pardon, 62 for 4.
(62 for 4) at the end of over number 15. Enukakara Nagoda and Ramesh Mendis out there at the centre. Ramesh Mendis, the captain. In sport of bother, Hayleys 62 for 4. A wicket here will definitely make things even more struggling for Hayleys. That'll be wide. Off the edge with just a single. Look at Karanagoda has played some good shots so far for his 7 runs. Have looked quite comfortable out there at the centre. But it's a different threat against Vanuj Sahan, who has picked up 4 wickets. So for the 4 wickets belonging to Vanuj Sahan. Because he's getting the ball to turn, and he did that from ball number 1. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ramesh Mendis. Well, surely when he comes to bowl, he will try to replicate the same performance as Vanuj Sahan for sure, because it's the same kind of bowler just as Vanuj Sahan. But this time around, with the bat in hand, he clearly seems to be struggling. There we go. Once again, they said that the angle in which Vanuj Sahan is delivering the ball, that makes it difficult for the batters to cope up with. Coming in bit of round the arm and landing the ball right in between middle and off, and getting that ball to turn away just like that. There we go. And every delivery, he's asking questions from the batter. It's just 2 runs so far from this over. There we go. That's gone, is it? Yes, it is. 5 wickets for Vanuj Sahan. 5 overs done in his spell, and he's picked up 5 wickets for just 11 runs. And Hayleys 64 for 5, and half of the side back in the pavilion, and this time it's Ramesh Mendis, the captain. Once again, the angle which creates, this time the ball goes straight with the arm, and Ramesh Mendis playing the wrong line entirely. 5 wickets for Vanuj Sahan. And Ramesh Mendis is gone for 2 of 8, and now it's 5 down for 68 for Hayleys. 16 overs, half the side back in the pavilion for Hayleys. Vanuja Sahan taking care of this top order of Hayleys. Ron Chandragupta, the highest run scorer with 19. Sahan Kosala looked good for his 14 runs, but from there onwards, none of the batters were able to get to double figures. And just 15 extras. Look at those bowling figures. Vanuja Sahan, 5 overs, 11 runs and picked up 5 wickets. And rest of the bowlers yet to get into that wickets column, but Vanuja Sahan has certainly done the damage here with the ball in hand. He's got 5 more overs remaining. He's got 5 wickets more remaining in this game as well, so we'll see. He's picked up 5 already. It's a matter of time he picks up another 1 or 2. Sandun Taraka Mendis comes in to bowl the 17th over. Just a 1 match so far for him in mercantile cricket. So spin from both the ends, understandably from Maliban. Just trying to wrap things up quickly here. But Hayleys, remember, they have a good batting lineup, a deep batting lineup, and the new batter who walked out to the middle is Lahiru Samarakon, another hard hitter of the ball who can take the game deep. That'll be a wide. Starts off with a wide, Sandun Taraka. Nicely behind the ball that time, Inuka Karanagoda. The key thing about playing the spinners on surface like this, where the spinners are taking some purchase of the conditions, is to make sure that you use the feet as much as possible, and at the same time just try to play it late. Just make sure that you get the hang of the conditions, get used to the conditions, and then with the confidence you go down the track, you get to the pitch of the delivery, you use your feet well. And that's how we tackle spinners on the surfaces. This is Lahiru Samarakon, 73 matches, so much experience, a good strike rate of over 100. He's a power hitter, he can hit the ball hard. Off the edge and gone. Sandun Taraka Mendis picks up a wicket in his very first over. Now it's 6 down, Hayleys. And it's Lahiru Samarakon. First ball, a golden duck for Lahiru Samarakon. And once again, a nice floaty off spinner from Sandun Taraka outside the off stump. There we go, nice loop. And a good take from the first slip fielder. And just like that, the 6th wicket goes down. Hayleys in deep trouble. 66 for 6 in 16.3 overs. Lahiru Samarakon, he's gone for a duck off first ball. 6 down now for 66 Hayleys. This is good quality bowling, nothing else. The surface is turning a bit, but at the same time I don't see it. See, this is Ravindu Fernando, another good talented all-rounder, 55 matches, 1,300 runs. So this is what I mentioned. Hayleys, they bat deep. Ravindu Fernando is a very capable batter who can take the game deep. And this is where that advantage is there for Hayleys. But 66 for 6. It's not going to get better from here onwards for them. has been cut away quite nicely, and it runs down towards the boundary. Ravindu Fernando is that kind of a batter who wouldn't really, try to settle in. He's that kind of a batter who would, try to go after the bowling from ball number 1. This is a perfect indication. It's not the best of the deliveries from Sandun Mendis outside the off stump, and cut away quite nicely through that point region for a boundary. $70 for 6. Sandun Mendis making inroads here. This is the last wicket. Lahiru Samarakon once again. Nice loop, and it gets straightens once it lands on the surface, and Lahiru Samarakon just not picking up the delivery that time. See, I still believe this surface is a bit of turn on offer for the spinner, especially for Vanu Jasani. He's getting some good purchase, and Sandun Mendis as well. Oh, right on the bounce, right on the bounce. So Sandun Taraka almost picking up the second wicket. 17 overs done, 70 for 6. This time the ball rushed in towards the batter. Right on the bounce, right on the bounce. 17 done, 70 for 6. So Sandun Taraka Mendis he's just landing the ball in good areas, and at the same time he's not spinning the ball as much as Vanu Jasan is spinning at the moment. But it's at the areas where he's bowling and at the pace in which he's bowling that makes it difficult for the batters. He's just bowled 1 over and has picked up a wicket already. And that delivery is a perfect example of how an off spinner should bowl, simply because he bowled it with a good loop outside the off stump in a good length region. That makes it extremely difficult for the batter, especially when it's your first ball against a good quality off spinner. When he bowls it in such good area, there's nothing much you can do. In the morning, I had a good look into the surface here at the MCA grounds. I told you this earlier as well. It's a very hard surface, and there's not a lot of cracks. And the grass layer on the surface was very dry, and it's quite even. I didn't really see any demons on the surface for the spinners, but it's just that the quality of the spinners that making it difficult for Hayleys. 18 overs done, 70 for 6. See, the reason why I'm saying that this pitch is not offering any demons for the batters is that on the same surface, Maliban ended up chasing 170 odd runs quite comfortably, losing just 4 wickets. So even in the morning hours, when I had a good look into the surface, it's very hard, and the ball should have come onto the bat quite nicely. We saw the faster bowlers hitting the deck hard and getting that ball to bounce. But now, once the spinners come in, we're seeing an entirely different scenario out there in the middle. Because Ramesh Mendis also did mention at the coin toss that there were no hesitations whatsoever. He was electing to bat first. He won the toss and elected to bat first, citing that this surface is a good track to bat on. But look what has happened. Vanu Jasan has completely turned this game upside down with his bowling, and that is really impressive from the youngster. Here's a bowling change from Maliban. Sanoj Darshika. With a leg spin. Not much pace on offer from Sanoj Darshika that time. A half tracker from him. Ravindra Fernando coming in at number 8 for Hayleys. It just, as I mentioned earlier, just tells you about the batting depth which of Hayleys at the moment, that makes it comfortable for them, especially at the latter part of these innings. Oh, that's up in there, a chance, but nothing there. The third man fielder was nowhere to be found. There was no third man. That backward point fielder was there, but was just touched to away from that short third man region. There we go, just trying to work that ball. Ravindra Fernando towards that mid-wicket region, but safe. Playing it up in there once again. See, that's the natural stroke play of Ravindra Fernando. As I mentioned earlier, he's not going to just hang around out there in the middle. He will try to play some shots. But there is one area where Maliban can exploit off of Ravindra Fernando. You toss it up, you allow him to play a few shots. Because at this stage, Maliban wouldn't mind if Ravindra Fernando ends up playing few strokes, end up playing few boundaries. If it creates an opportunity, why not just let Ravindra Fernando play some strokes and, entice him to do some mistakes? Because that's a comfortable position for Maliban, knowing that they have already picked up 6 wickets and there's plenty of overs remaining. They wouldn't mind letting Ravindra Fernando off the hook and to see what sort of an mistake he would do on a surface that is favouring the spinner. So 19 overs done, 75 for 6. Right, so Wanuj Hassan to bowl the 7th over. Look at those figures. 5 wickets for just 11 runs. 75 for 6 now, Hayleys. He's in a good form, isn't he, Wanuj Hassan? Where did that come from? You can see the impression from the batter, Ravindra Fernando, and Wanuj Hassan just exchanging a smile because Ravindra played it to a different area and the ball ended up going to another whole different area, right in towards the Wanuj Hassan. But this is really good testing times for Ravindra Fernando. That'll be wide. There we go. There we go. He's hitting some nice areas on the surface. Wanuj Hassan just getting the ball turned right from ball number 1. He hasn't done anything unusual with his bowling. He's just bowled in good areas. The angle in which he's bowling makes it difficult for the batters to cope up. And that's the end of the over. 20 overs done, 77 for 6.
Yes, the batting card of Hayleys not looking good. Ron Chandragupta and Sahan Kosala are the only two batters who managed to get to the double figures. Here's the bowling card. Wanuja Sahan is the talisman of the attack. 5 wickets for 13. And meanwhile, 6 runs, a maximum from Ravindu Fernando. Foolish delivery. Has got the treatment. Sano Darshika on that occasion, too full. And Ravindu Fernando, he's capable of using the long handle and go for the big strokes. And here's the first one. A little bit short. Just a single. The score moves up to 84. But still, Hayleys is in a deep trouble, losing 6 wickets. Yes, of course, the wicket is spinning. There's a considerable amount of support for the spinners, but still, they need to get to a competitive score. Here's another one beaten outside the off stump. Inuka Karanagar on that occasion. 9 off 25. Sano Darshika, the right arm leg spinner. Another single down to a deep point. Just a single. So far, this is a very good score for Hayleys. It's a very good over. That's too close to cut. Ravindu Fernando went for that big square cut. It was too close to the off stump. But these two are the only recognized pair of batting at the moment for Hayleys. Again went for the big shot. Missed it completely, and 21 overs done. Hayleys 85 for 6. Here's how the partnerships has been worked for Hayleys. On top, Ron Chandragupta and Sahan Khosla had a decent partnership, but since then there's absolutely nothing much to talk about. But Ramesh Mendis and Enuka Karanagoda had just 10 runs partnership. Other than that, it's all single figures. With the support of 17 extras at the end of 21 overs, Hayleys are 85 for 6. Sandun Taraka continues. So far bowled 1 over and got 1 wicket for just 6 runs. Again, what a delivery from Sandun Taraka. Yes, Sandun Taraka. A slight change of field. A short extra cover has been placed. 1 slip. Hayleys on the attack. Beg your pardon, Maliban. What a delivery again. Inuka Karanagot has completely deceived. Pitched on middle stump and spun away from the batter. Tried to go for a paddle sweep. Yes, a good decision from the umpire. The impact is outside the off stump. Again, very good delivery from Sandun Taraka. A line and length has been perfect in this over. And could have easily gone for the leg slip. That's Chatura Piris. Has had the leg slip. So far, a brilliant over from Sandun Taraka. Just the 2 runs. Again. 22 overs gone. A Hayleys 87 for 6. And here's the points table of the tournament. Hayleys and Maliban sits right at the top. They both won their first games. And Hayleys sits at the top just ahead of the run rate, net run rate. Here comes Sano Darshika. Another big hit. Full and 6 runs for Ravidu Fernando. Here's the replay. That was in his zone and was no hesitation of going after it. Another maximum for Ravidu Fernando. And the ball is out of here. Here comes Sano Darshika. And tried to go for that big shot. Oh, the offside. But the pace was not there. As Ravindu Fernando is a big hitter. Again, went for the big shot again, and this time Sano Darshika has the last laugh against Ravindu Fernando. Tried to go for that big hit over deep mid wicket. Got the leading edge and went straight up. Here's the replay. Tried to go too much towards mid wicket. He got the leading edge and went straight up. And it's easy catch for Chatura Piris at short third man. 7 down for Hayleys. As Ravindu Fernando departs for a 22. A small cameo of Ravindu Fernando comes to an end. Hayleys 93 for 7. As Kavishka Anjula is a new batsman for Hayleys. Good strike rate. Kavishka Anjula is capable of batting. He's capable of scoring big runs. Here comes Sano Darshika. A full toss and couldn't capitalize on it. Kavishka Anjula. The pressure is on Hayleys. Ooh, look at that. Here's a replay of the previous wicket. Ravidu Fernando. And try to work the ball towards the onside for a single, but there's nothing going for Hayleys at the moment. Again. Could have easily chopped onto the stumps. Lucky escape for Kavishka Anjula. 23 overs done. Hayleys 94 for 7. Sadun Tarak to continue from the other end. Again, look at it. Inuka Karanagoda. There's nothing he can do much. Just let the ball go. Again, what a delivery. My goodness, how could it miss? Pitched right in the middle stump. And spun sharply away from the left hander. 3 dots in a row. Things not going Hayleys' way. Yes, Sadun Taraka. Inuka Karanagoda has expected that to spin, but that went straight on. Could have been missed. If he missed the ball, could have been the 8th. Again, look at this. I mean, what an over from Sadun Taraka. Inuka Karanagoda, the left-handed batter, has no clue whatsoever. A maiden over from Sadun Taraka. 24 overs done. Hayleys 94 for 7. Sahanarachige brought back into the attack. So far 2 overs has been bowled. As Kavish Kanjal just planted his front foot even before the ball comes, just to cover his off stump. There's so many things is going on in the batter's heads. Again. This pitch has turned out to be a nightmare for the batters. This match definitely going to be very interesting. Even the run chase is not going to be easy for Maliban as well, since Hayleys have a lot of good spinners. Again, 3 dots in a row. The runs are hard to come by. Just get the bat on ball. Hayleys are clueless in the middle at the moment. A single down to deep cover. That's the first single that came after 10 deliveries. The last couple of overs. 2 left-handers in the middle. 2 off-spinners operating from either ends. Things going pretty well for Maliban. Here comes Sahanarachige. Again, right on the money. This is very good bowling from Sahanarachige. Brilliant catch. See, absolutely brilliant. Just took the shoulder off the bat and ballooned in the air, and Inuka Karannagoda's patience inning has comes to an end. Look at that. Brilliant effort. Inuka Karannagoda departs for 12. A patience inning comes to an end from him. And Hayleys are in a deep trouble at the end of 25th, 95 for 8. Right, so 95 for 8 in 25 overs, halfway done. And Hayleys in deep sorts of trouble here. Sandun Taraka being brought in from the other end now. Karan Pereira comes in at number 10 for Hayleys. Oh, that's a good looking shot there from Kavishka. And that has gone all the way for a boundary. There we go. Knew exactly where the fielder was positioned. The backward Sportylk fielder was careful enough to play it away from him as much as he can. He ends up getting a boundary. Now that's up in there. A chance
Nope, it's gone all the way for a 6. A 4 and a 6 in this over. And that 6 has taken Hayleys over 100 runs in 25.2 overs. I was very casually struck. For a moment I thought that it didn't really have that enough power to get it all the way towards the 6, but that was very good. Timed up to the perfection, nicely timed and nicely placed as well through that mid-wicket region. It goes all the way for a boundary. More towards the long on, I would say. Right, so 10 runs from the first 2 deliveries now. Oh, gone! There we go, that ball rushed in, and Kavishka absolutely castled that time, and Sadun Taraka picks up his second wicket. A slightly faster delivery from Sadun Taraka, and that ball just rushed in off of his body and clips that off stump. So the 9th wicket goes down, and Kavishka Anjula, he's gone for 11, and Sadun Mendis picking up his second wicket. One on 5 for 9. Hayleys in deep trouble. Prabha Surya walks out to the middle. Nice. He must be having a lot of hopes with his bowling on a surface like this. It'll be a real testing for the Maliban batters. But at the moment, it's all about Maliban bowlers who have done a tremendous job in restricting Hayleys for just 105 for 9 in 25.3 overs. And the spinners doing the trick on a rather tricky surface here at the MCA grounds, which is quite surprising because even at the toss, the captain and even in the pitch report, it looked like as if this surface was a rock solid surface where the batters would end up scoring runs, but look how this ended up. The spinners taking control of the game right from the start. And now the spinners have taken all 9 wickets. Maliban certainly can't take this game lightly still, because 106 for 9. You look into the Hayleys bowling lineup. This is what happened. The faster delivery that went with the arm. Didn't really turn. That was a faster delivery, the arm delivery, and it went with the arm and it rushed the batter. He was not sure whether he should go to his front foot or the back foot. So he was stuck in between. Asking the question this time. That's gone. That's done here at the MCA grounds, and Hayleys 106 all out in just 26 overs. What a turnaround from the spinners of Maliban, and they have absolutely thrashed the Hayleys batting lineup to restrict them for just 105 runs, or rather 106 runs, and easy decision there for the umpire. That looks straight, and Sadun Taraka picks up his 3rd wicket for just 19, and Kalana Pereira is gone for a golden duck. The second batter after Lahiru Samarakon to be dismissed for a golden duck in this fixture here at the MCA grounds, and Hayleys have been all out for 106 in just 26 overs. What a turnaround! It was all thanks to Wanuja Sahan, his 5-wicket haul, and then Sadun Taraka Mendis 3 wickets, and then Sahana Rachige as well, coming in and picking up wickets. So it's a collective effort, but the credits, major credits, should go to Vanuja Sahan for his brilliant work with the ball in hand. A sorry looking batting card for Hayleys. as we have Ravindu Fernando as a top scorer with 2 sixes and a 4. He scored 22 of 19, but apart from that, none of the other batters were able to make significant contributions with the batter for Hayleys, and they've been all out for 106 in just 26 overs. Looking into the bowling card, as I mentioned earlier, as all thanks to Vanuja Sahan Kumar, 7 overs, 13 runs and 5 wickets. 3 wickets for Sanoj Mendis, Sanun Mendis, Sanoj Darshaka picking up 1 wicket, and Sahan Arachige picking up 1 wicket as well. So wickets right from the start. It started off well for Hayleys, 37, the opening partnership, but from there onwards, wickets started to fall in regular intervals. They didn't really take off from the fall of the first wicket till the 26th over, where they've been all out for 106 runs. So let's have a look at the highlights. It started off well, as I mentioned earlier. The two openers, Ron Chandragupta and Asanka Mano, started off well, as we saw some good quality shots from both the batters, especially against the faster bowlers, as they took control of the game. 37 runs, the opening partnership, and for a moment that phase, Hayleys were looking good. They were in control of the game, but Vanuja Sahan came in and he picked up 5 wickets in no time, making the Hayleys, or rather pushing Hayleys onto his back foot. This was Sahan just trying to work that ball, trying that reverse sweep shots, but it ended up costing him badly. And then Vanuja Sahan, that was his 5th wicket. And then came Sanoj Mendis, picked up 3 wickets for just 19 runs, and those middle overs were really threatening for Hayleys. Then came Ravindu Fernando, played some good shots for his 22 runs in just 19 deliveries, but even he couldn't really continue to place shots all around the park, as Sanoj Mendis picked up a wicket. This is Sahan Arachige. What a brilliant catch that was from the first slip fielder. And from there onwards, it didn't really take much time for the Maliban to clean the tail and to wrap things up here at the MCA grounds. A good collective effort from the Maliban bowlers, the spinners taking control of the game right from the start, all thanks to Vanuja Sahan, and then Sanoj Darshika, Sadun Mendis and Sahan Arachige chipping in with wickets at regular intervals. Right, so the target is set for Maliban, as they need 107 runs to win in their 50 overs, or 300 deliveries to be exact. So we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the run chase here at the Mercantile Cricket Association grounds. Until then, stay tuned with Sporty.lk.
South Africa one day আছে
আর 300 something chase කළාද ඉපරේ chase කළා
last ball එකට නම් ගියා match එක
380 ගණන්නේ
330යි ඉංග්ලන්ඩ් 325යි
ඉංග්ලන්ඩ් පරාදනේ ඔක්කොම
පරාදයි ඒ දොස් පාට්ලගේ එක තියෙන match එක අනිත් පැත්තට ගිහින්
get opener or the red skipper or one red skipper
bowling attack එකක් මහරාජ අන්න එතන වල T20 World Cup එකේ South Africa ගහයි කියන
ඔව් කියන්නේ අර මහරාජුත් ඉන්නවා අර
කුසාමි ඉන්නවා යන්න බෑ T20 World Cup එකකට රිටයර් වෙච්ච උන් ඔක්කොම ක්ලාස් එකෙන් ආයෙ වෙයිද කියලා
කියන්න
We are back live with the proceedings of the second innings of the MCA Super Premier League match between Hayleys and Maliban. The first innings has been concluded with Hayleys have been bundled out for just 106 inside 30 overs. Hayleys have won the toss and they decided to bat first, and things went completely against him. Since the opening partnership, there's nothing went for Hayleys. As the team is out there for the field, they have just 106 runs to defend. With the way the pitch has been behaved so far, we cannot say it's an easy run chase for Maliban as well, since two talismanic spinners with Hayleys, Ramesh Mendis, the skipper, and Prabhat Jayasuriya, the premier spinner of Sri Lankan cricket team. Definitely in this inning we will see spin from both ends from the earlier on. Umpires are out. Hayleys out. The batters are not here yet. The two openers of Maliban are out in the middle as well. The skipper Sangeet Kure and Hiran Jayasundara, the two openers for Maliban. And with no surprise, as you have expected, Prabhat Jayasuriya is opening the bowling. The leading spinner of a Sri Lankan cricket team. He has a huge responsibility on his shoulders. But if we get some early wickets, couple of early wickets, things can be interesting. The way this pitch has been played so far, it's not going to be an easy run chase for Maliban as well. Here's Hiran Jayasundar, the opener. The young cricketer produced by St. Joseph's College. One slip in place. Here comes Prabhat Jayasuriya. As we expected, spin from the first ball. It's all happening here at MCA. Nothing for the batters at all. That's too much down the leg side. Five runs. Five wides on that occasion. Prabhat Jayasuriya tried to push it too straight. They missed the line and length completely. Everyone missed that. There's no chance for the wicketkeeper to grab it. Another wide down the leg side. He's bowling too quick and tried to go too straight. Prabhat Jayasuriya. There's the stats of Prabhat Jayasuriya. There's no surprise. It's a genuine wicket taker. Again, solid behind the ball, Hiran Jayasundara. (17 half centuries and 1 century. Look at the average, almost clicking 40. Very good average for the opening batter. Promising youngster. Went for that sweep, got the top edge, but just short of the fielder at deep backward square leg. Inuka Karannagoda. Inuka Karannagoda also can be handy under these conditions. He's a good left arm spinner. Here's Sangeet Kure, the skipper of Maliban, the left-handed batsman. He went across and tried to go for that slog sweep. Umpire signals by. He's missed everything. Missed the bat. Missed the wicket keeper. Missed everything. And another boundary. It's marginal. (11 runs already on the board. Just four deliveries have been bowled. It's all happening here. Solid behind it, Sangeet Kure. It's vastly experienced. He represents the Sri Lanka A team as well. He knows what to do. He has played a lot of cricket under these kind of conditions. Stepped out and drives through the covers. Another couple of runs, and that's the end of the first over. Maliban has got off to a rollicking start, 13 for no loss. And here's the story. 94 runs required of 294 deliveries. Just forget the number of deliveries. For Hayleys, it's all about wickets. As we have thought in the com box, the same combination. Our prediction is right. Ramesh Mendis is operating from the other end. Another experienced cricketer. An off spinner, Ramesh Mendis, the skipper. He has a lot of responsibility. At least to give his team something. Right on the money, first delivery. Solidly defended by Hiran Jayasundara as well. He looks very confident, looks really good. It's a middle the ball right from the first ball. Tried to go for that cheeky little late cut. But a little bit of extra bounce on that occasion. Yes, Ramesh Mendis. Hiran Jayasundara covered the line very well on that occasion. Here comes Ramesh Mendis. A quick single from the two batters. Good running between the wickets. Scoreboard keeps moving. This is an interesting battle between the left-handed batter and the right arm off-spinning bowler. Sangeet Kure up against Ramesh Mendis. Skipper to skipper. Slip in place is on the attack. Ramesh Mendis. There's nothing to hold back. Sharp turn and bounce. This is a complete nightmare for the batters. This is not the kind of surface both teams were expected to play, especially a one-day game. A quicker delivery from Ramesh Mendis, negotiated well by Sangeet Kure. And that's the end of the second. Maliban 14 for no loss. Fourteen runs has been scored in the 2 overs. 10 of them are extras. Yes, Prabhat Jayasuriya, the premier spinner of Sri Lankan cricket team, a test cricket team. Slip and a leg slip in place. Hayleys desperate for a wicket. A quicker delivery from Prabhat Jayasuriya, very well negotiated by Hiran Jayasundara, solidly behind it. Again, very well played by Hiran Jayasundara, played with soft hands, is going down the leg side on that occasion. Is a loud appeal from bowler and the wicket keeper. Here comes the replay. Just going down the leg side. A very good decision from the umpire. Another good delivery from Paraj Jayasuriya. Right on the money. What a ripper. And that's the end of the third over. Maliban 14 for Nolos. Here comes the replay. Pitched on the middle stump and spun away from the right hander. What a delivery. 14 for Nolos at the end of the third. Maliban need 93 of 47 overs, 282 deliveries. Number of deliveries is not going to affect this game. Hayleys is desperate for wickets. As we have seen so far, even during these 3 overs, the batting will not going to be easy. So the 2 batters are out in the middle. Has a huge responsibility to carry on. And that's the first blood for Hayleys and the skipper. First one down. Skipper gets the skipper. Sangeet Kure is the victim on that occasion. He departs for 2. Here's the replay of the wicket. Very good catch from Ravindu Fernando at slip. Sangeet Kure departs for 2. As Ramesh Mendis, the skipper of Hayleys, got the first wicket. And here's Dhananjay Lakshan, another left-hander, replace Sangeet Kure. And that's the second. 2 in 2 for Ramesh Mendis. It's all happening here. Suddenly, the momentum has changed completely. Look at that. Went for that sweep. The very first ball, but it was not there. Dhananjay Lakshan is completely unnecessary stroke. First ball duck for Dhananjay Lakshan. Tables is turning around for Hayleys at the moment. And 2 deliveries, 2 wickets for Ramesh Mendis. Here's the first wicket of this over. Sangeet Kure, the first man to depart. And here comes Dhananjay Lakshan. Went for the sweep shot straight away. Ramesh Mendis, he's on a hat-trick. Can he do it? Ravindu Rashant is the new batsman. A promising cricketer, a promising youngster. Here comes Ramesh Mendis on a hat-trick. Again, try to work the ball towards mid-wicket. 3 more deliveries to go. Can he get another? Can he get his team back into the game? Again, went for another sweep. Another sweep. Leaving dangerously both batters. Here comes another one. That's the third of this over. What is going on here? Hiran Jayasundara went for that slog sweep. Just one fielder down there and deep mid wicket, and he hit straight to the fielder. Here comes the replay. Went for that big slog sweep and hit it straight to the man. 3 down is completely unnecessary stroke at the moment. 2 wickets have already down, and what's the hurry to go for a big shot? 3 down, Maliban. They are also in a deep trouble now. Hiran Jayasundar is the man to depart. They just scored 2 runs. It's all happening here at MCA. Wickets are tumbling in regular intervals. Sahan Narachige is the new batsman. Another left-hander. Look at the numbers. Numbers tells the story about him. Here comes Ramesh Mendis. A loud appeal from Ramesh Mendis, but umpire was not interested. Here's a replay of the last wicket. Went for the big slog sweep. Caught at deep mid-wicket. At the end of the 4th over, Maliban are in big trouble, 15 for 3. And Prabhat Jayasuriya to continue from the other end. They are still in the 5th over. Maliban has already lost 3 wickets. There's Ravindu Rashant, a right-handed batsman against Prabhat Jayasuriya. Solidly behind the ball, Ravindu Rashant. Too much down the leg side. Good sweep shot and very well fielded by Inuka Karanagoda. Deep backward square leg. Tried to go for the quick single, but the extra cover fielder is quicker. Lahiru Samarakon. Shortish delivery from Prabhat Jayasuriya, worked away towards the onside by Sahan Narachige, and he gets off the mark with a single. 17 for 3. We are still in the 5th over. Here comes Prabhat Jayasuriya. Solidly defended by Ravindra Shanta. Another dot to end the 5th. After 5 overs, Maliban 17 for 3.
Right, so it's all happening out there at the middle. 17 for 3, Maliban. Here's Ramesh Mendis. Oh, that's a good delivery once again. Just trapping Sahan Narachigi on back foot. Already picked up 3 wickets. The surface has completely stunned me and has taken me by surprise, because in the morning it was nicely rolled on and it looked like a very hard surface, but now looking into the results of this match and how the spinners have operated in this on this surface rather, it's safe to say that the things have turned around quite a lot, and this is has certainly taken Ramesh Mendis by surprise as well, because I told this earlier as well, because he did mention in the coin toss as well that it's a good pitch to bat on, so they won the toss and elected to bat first. But now the spinners from both the sides, Ramesh Mendis himself is making a statement out there at the middle. Vanuja Sahan did it with the ball in the previous innings. Oh, that's a good delivery once again. Bowling it flat, Ramesh Mendis, and not allowing Sahan Narachige to come under the ball and play it probably towards that V region down the ground, down towards long on or long off. It's the trajectory in which he's bowling that makes it difficult. There we go once again. This time a nice loop from Ramesh Mendis. Few flatter ones, and then comes the loop from Ramesh Mendis. Good mix up. 6 overs done, 19 for 3. Maliban Biscuits losing wickets in regular intervals. In 1 over they lost 3, and they're lagging behind at the moment. The graph tells you where Hayleys are at the moment, where Hayleys were at the moment, and where Maliban are at the moment. Right, so here's Prabhat Jayasuriya. Ravindra Shanta and Sahan Narachige, two very much capable batters who has that ability to play longer innings and to get this team over the line. Just 88 more runs required. Ravindra Shanta looking solid, very well behind the ball. Oh, that's a good delivery. Once again, just a hint of spin from Prabhat Jayasuriya, and just enough to beat that outside edge. That hit the helmet. Ravindra Shanta. And we're calling in the physio. Are we? No. Ravindra Shanta says he's good to go. Off the edge, just away from that first slip fielder. And a steal a single that time. That was very close. It'll be an interesting replay to see where the first slip fielder is positioned against Prabhat Jayasuriya. But that was obviously too far away from him. Last ball of this over, just 1 run so far. Oh, this time, nothing there from the umpire. Yeah, just probably saying that the height might be an issue that time. 7 overs done, 20 for 3. Seven more runs required, 258 deliveries remaining. Plenty of time remaining for these two batters to settle in, stay composed, and get this 80-odd runs more required to win this game. Here's Ramesh Mendis. Once again, Ravindra Shanta showing great interest in exploiting that backward square leg region. He's been playing that sweep shot quite a lot against, especially against Ramesh Mendis. Got to be careful though. But it's a surface where you can actually trust the bounce. But we saw Ramesh Mendis generating some good bounce off the surface. Same as Vanu Chasan. Runs are not coming in. Maliban 21 for 3. 86 more runs required. These two batters just happy to take their time, which is the right thing to do, which is the right approach. A quick single. Home quite comfortably at the end. Prabhat Jayasuriya with the throw. Got it right. Was it a direct hit though? Not entirely sure whether was a direct hit from Prabhat Jayasuriya. Came nicely onto his hands, and yes, it is a direct hit, but the batter is comfortably in. Last ball of this over, just 2 runs from it. Yeah, it was straight into the hands of the fielder. Just a couple of runs there from Ramesh Mendis is over. And it was done 22 for 3. Right, so Prabhat to continue. They need wickets here. Hayleys, they badly need to make sure that they're picking up wickets at regular intervals, because once you allow these two batters to settle down out there at the centre, that means you're putting yourself in grave danger, because Ravindra Shanta is kind of batter who could, bat longer innings, and once you give them any chance to settle in, to dig in, and to be comfortable out there at the center. He'll make sure that he finishes the game properly. Yeah, he's been out there for 15 deliveries. Now this is a surface in the morning. Look, it's very hard and it's very firm as well, but it broke down really, really quickly. That's the surprising thing. It's very hard, it's very firm, it's nicely rolled in, but soon the players walked out to the middle, the faster bowlers getting into action. Things started to collapse. There we go. 2 slips in position for Prabha Jayasuriya. Ravindra Santa just happy to let that ball go. Last ball of this over. Asking the question, and that's gone. The finger goes up. And it's Ravindra Shanta who has to depart. Prabhat Jayasuriya slightly faster that time from Prabhat. It's Narachige completely missed that and trapped right in front of the stumps. That's disappointing for Ravindra Shanta. Let's have a look at that again. There we go, pitching nicely on the middle stump and probably just hitting that leg stump. So Ravindra Santa, he's gone for 4 of 19. It's 4 down now for Maliban. Right, so Ramesh Mendis to continue. No changes in bowling. It's Ramesh Mendis. It's Prabhat Jayasuriya from 2 ends. Real testing times for Maliban. 23 for 4. Few days back here at the same venue, they chased down a total of 174, losing just 4 wickets. Hiran Jayasundara played a beautiful knock coming in as the opener, but now the situation is entirely different. This is Sandun Mendis. Swept away quite nicely this time. Sandun Taraka once again getting the pitch at the delivery. Now all eyes on Sahana Rachige. They have the likes of Milan Ratnayaka to come as well, who can bat. So they also bat deep. Not as much as Hayleys. Oh, that's a good delivery. Whoa. A single to finish the over. 3 runs coming off from that over. 26 runs on the board for the loss of 4 wickets at the end of over number 10.
Here's a story at the end of the 10th over. Maliban is 26 for 4. Half of the runs they have scored in the power play has been scored in the first over. 13 for Nolos at the end of the first over, and all of a sudden, look where they are. 26 for 4. Prabhat Jayasuriya continues. Both Prabhat Jayasuriya and Ramesh Mendis might end their spells on trot. Here comes the 6th over of Prabhat Jayasuriya. Outside the off stump, impact. Another single. Umpire signals leg byes. Another 80 runs required for Maliban. With the context of the game so far, 80 runs is a long way away from the target. Comes Prabhat Jayasuriya with 2 slips in. Another sweep shot right on the carpet. Two runs off 2 balls in this over so far. Again, the impact outside the off stump. Maliban, even though they'll keep losing wickets and keep going for big shots. Went for another slog sweep, Sahana Rachige. A quicker delivery. Work towards the onside. Towards deep mid wicket for a single. Sandun Taraka with 2 slips in. Watchfully played. A good shot from Sandun Taraka Mendis. A boundary to finish the 11th. 33 for 4 Maliban. Here's a replay of the previous shot. Right along the carpet by Sandun Taraka Mendis. A deep square leg fielder had no chance to get to that ball. 11 overs done, 33 for 4 Maliban. Meanwhile, a bowling change from the other end. Inuka Karannagoda is brought back into the attack by Ramesh Mendis. Look at the stats. 2 5-wicket hauls and 10 times he got past 3 wickets. What a bowler he is. Good start from Inuka Karanagoda, right on the money. Shot a little bit outside the off stump and cuts that towards deep backward point. Another 73 runs for the win for Maliban. Here comes Inuka Karanagoda. Went for that big slog sweep but couldn't get that connected properly. But just a single for Sadun Taraka Mendes. Left arm spinner and left-handed batsman. And a very good delivery to end the 12th over. 12 run, a Maliban 36 for 4. Ravindu Fernando, the newly introduced bowler to the attack. So right arm off spinner. Tried to work the ball towards the leg side. It got the leading edge. Lucky enough. Five wides. A quicker delivery from Ravindu Fernando went completely wrong. Went down the leg side. Comes Ravindu Fernando. That's much better from Ravindu Fernando. Keep bowling there. Just keep bowling there. Things started to happen. Went for the reverse sweep and another boundary for Sahanara Chige. A welcome boundary for Maliban. Reverse sweep very well executed by Sahanarachige. Nine runs so far in this over. A single down to long off, and that's for Sahanarachige. "61 runs required to win for a Maliban." And that's the end of the 13th. Maliban 46 for 4. Inuka Karanagod to continue from the other end. He's just keeping things simple, just bowling to his field. Another single for Sahanarachige. Worked the ball away towards onside. Again, a little uppish, but somehow Sanuntaraka managed to survive. You see Inuka Karanagod just making things happen for Hayleys. That's too short on that occasion by Inuka Karanagod. A very good delivery from Inuka Karanagod. Got the outside edge. Just a couple of runs for Sahanarachige and Maliban. The 50 comes up for now 14 overs done. "51 for 4, Maliban." Another single. So Ravindu Fernando to continue. Sandhu Taraka tried to go for that sweep shot, a paddle sweep, but couldn't get the line and rent. Thought about a single, it was not available there. It's good fielding effort from Hayleys as well, equally as Maliban. Here comes Robin Fernando. As he attempted reverse sweep and a very welcome boundary for Hiran Jayasundara. Here comes Ravindu Fernando. Comes Ravindu Fernando. The end of his second over. Again, a very good delivery to finish off the 15th. Maliban 56 for 4 and required another 51 of 30 overs. And the change of comp box, Osanda Bandar will take on the commentary.
Sanarachige playing a good knock here, 20 of 35, looking comfortable, just taking things ball after ball. And Sandhu Taraka giving him a good support as well, 8 of 15. Here's Ramesh Mendis once again to bowl his 6th over, picked up 3 wickets for just 9 runs. Showing great sense of patience and understanding. Sahanarachige out there at the centre, not taking any risks, just making sure that he nudges the ball towards the gaps. And the run in between the wickets has been quite promising from both the batters. See, that's the key. When it comes to batting on tricky surfaces like these, you got to make sure that you're running between the wickets really, really well. And that is one unique feature of this partnership between Sahanarachige and Sandhu Taraka. They've been running hard, taking that first run hard and putting the pressure, or rather reversing that pressure back onto the fielders. So that is good from these two batters, and I just need to make sure that they are continuing this good work, because at this rate they only need 50 more runs to win this match. Sharp turn this time towards Sandhu Taraka. A typical off-spinner delivery from Ramesh Mendis, but sharp spin on offer. See, the thing about Ramesh Mendis' bowling, we'll talk about this in his next over as well. It's just his trajectory is very flat. That makes it difficult for the batters to come down and come under the ball and hit it towards probably towards the down the ground. Now that time probably just sliding down the leg side for surely, and that's what the umpire must be thinking as well, because sharp turn on offer from Ramesh Mendis that time. 16 done, 57 for 4. Yeah, just probably missing out that leg stump. A good decision from the umpire. 16 down, 57 for 4. Right, so here's Ravindu Fernando. He's punched on the ground once again. See, Ravindu Fernando is bowling a touch too fast in my liking on the surface, which is slow and turning. You got to make sure that you adjust your pace according to the conditions. And you look at the pace in which Ramesh Mendis, Prabhat Jayasuriya, Vanuja Sahan and Sandhu Mendis bowl. Now that is really good from Ravindu. See, a nice loop, and whenever he's trying to bowl it fast, it ends up being full length, which makes it easier for the batters to, work that ball towards the gap and get ones or twos or maybe even a boundary. But he has a nice loop when it comes to, bowling in that good length region when he tries to, give a bit more air to the delivery. But once he start to, dart that ball in, it ends up being full length, which again makes it easier for the batters to, work that ball towards the gaps and to get one or twos. Has been called an over. See, he's trying to push the ball, dart the ball, and now he has overstepped as well. And as a result, you can see even that delivery, it ended up being a full length delivery. Here's a free hit now. Didn't really see the sign from the umpire. Off the edge, is it? Straight into the hands of the first slip fielder. Offer for no ball. Last ball of this over. And just 4 runs coming off from this over. There we go. Once again, a touch too faster. A full length delivery. Easily paddled it away for a single. 17 done. 62 for 4. Right, so change of ends for Prabhat Jayasuriya. Was bowling from the far end the first 6 overs, but now has been brought in to bowl from the pavilion end here at the MCA grounds. 45 more runs required. They need wickets, simple as that. Hayleys, they badly need wickets at this stage of the game. They don't have much runs to work with, not much runs to defend. Just 45 more runs required for Maliban. Swept away once again. A very effective shot against the spinners on a turning track. If you're comfortable with your sweep, if you're comfortable with just nudging the ball towards the backward square leg region or towards the square leg region or maybe towards the fine leg region, you can survive out there in the middle. Means you can get to the pitch of the delivery. You can play those reverse, the sweep shots. There's plenty of gaps all round as well. So it's such a handy option to have on a surface like this where it turns square. Now there we go. Comes in and hit on Sahana Rachige. Came in sharply that time. Sharp turn and offer. Wide outside the off stump that time. Prabhat Jayasuriya. Sahana Rachige dragging himself towards that outside off stump. There we go once again onto the offside. There's protection, the backward Sportylk fielder, Ravindu Fernando. Just a couple of runs in this over as well. The current run rate stands at just around 3.5 runs per over. Which certainly is threatening Hayleys at this stage of the game. $18 done, 64 for 4. Right, so Ramesh Mendis to continue. See, this move from Ramesh Mendis is just, they're desperate for wickets at the moment. Straightens up a bit once it lands on the pitch that time. See, these two batters have done quite well to survive out there in the middle. And one thing that I've noticed is that they've been very patient. And at the same time, it's the approach which they've taken in this partnership between Sahan Narachige and Sandun Tharaka Mendis. They've been playing it late, and at the same time, whenever the opportunities are like that presented, that time almost carried through towards deep mid-wicket fielder Prabha Jayasuriya. Didn't really carry all the way towards him. But was that a chance, a genuine chance? The body language of Ramesh Mendis certainly tells us that was a genuine chance. But let's see. Oh, I just fell short of Prabha Jayasuriya. They've unsettled. They have certainly unsettled the bowlers. Now, Ramesh Mendis, who did what? You saw what he did there. He swept the bails. And some bowlers, they believe that once you swap the bails like that, beg your pardon, swap the bails, it brings you some luck. It brings you wickets in this case. So we'll see whether that trick would work for Ramesh Mendis. Got a couple more deliveries to go in this over. Off the edge. Or a quick single. Got to hurry. A quick single that time. Ramesh Mendis. Now this is what happened. There we go. Ramesh Mendis swapping the bails. Last ball of this over coming up. That'll be a wide. Has punched down the ground. And that's gone all the way for a 6. This time it's Sandun Mendis. Has a powerful stroke down the ground, and that has gone all the way for a 6. 19 done. Maliban 74 for 4. Slightly overpitched from Ramesh Mendis, and Sandun Mendis needs no invitation. He goes down the track, or rather goes down the ground, and he gets it all the way for a 6. 33 more runs required now. 19 done, 74 for 4. Right, so Prabhat Jayasuriya. The ball is 8th over. Just a 1 wicket for him so far. Is that trump card for sure for Hayleys? Swept away once again quite nicely. That is exactly the area where he's been exploiting quite well all throughout these last 50 deliveries. Now Sahana Ratchage has survived out there for 50 deliveries. Or rather 49 deliveries, I beg your pardon, 49 deliveries. And all throughout these 49 deliveries, he's been exploiting that backward square leg region to square leg region really, really well. And that is one difference, I would say, between the Maliban batters and the Hayleys batters. The way they have negotiated the spinners on a surface which is tricky to bat on. They've chosen the right shot executions. They've chosen the right areas to score runs, and that have worked dramatically well for these two batters. I'm talking specifically about these two batters, Sandun Mendis and Sahana Ratchage. And at the same time, the other main difference is they've been quite positive, these two batters. Whenever the opportunity is presented, whenever the ball is full, they've gone for those shots. And they've been very, very proactive in that sense. So that is a main difference, I would say, between these two batters and the rest of the batters we have seen today from Maliban and from Hayleys as well. They've been very proactive and they've been chasing after opportunities. Whenever the ball is full, they've gone for those big shots and they've taken boundaries, 6s and 4s. And as a result, just 31 runs away from victory now, Maliban. Driven away quite nicely. This is through the gap. Couple of runs for sure. Yeah, 2 runs taken quite comfortably that time. One more delivery to go. Faster delivery. Short, but couldn't really get the most out of it for Sandun Mendis. 20 overs done. 79 for 4.
the end of the 20th. Maliban 79 for 4. Sahan Narachige and Sadun Taraka Mendes is going along nicely. A very good delivery from Ramesh Mendes. Is beaten outside the off stump. Sahan Narachige. Took the outside edge. Another couple of runs added to the tally of Maliban. Sahan Narachige, the individual score of him moved up to 32. He has survived 53 deliveries. Particularly on a surface like this, surviving 53 deliveries is an absolute treat to watch. That took off. Look at the bounce. 2 slips in place. And look at the bounce of that delivery. Here's the replay of the previous delivery. Look at that. And the pop of dust as well. It's an unplayable delivery from Ramesh Mendes. Another 25 runs required. Sadun Taraka Mendes, 19 of 30 deliveries, is calm and composed and very well supported to try to go for the reverse sweep. Four runs has already come off this over. One ball yet to be bowled. Hayleys is desperate for a wicket. Wicket in this moment can do a little bit different. This wicket is not an easy one for the batters, especially the new batsmen will not find it easy to score runs. And that's the end of the 21st. Another single down to fine leg. Maliban 84 for 4 at the end of the 20th. Ravindu Fernando, a right arm off spinner to continue against the left-handed batsman. Sahan Narachige is 33 off 55. Is doing a great job for Maliban. At one stage they were 26 for 4 at the end of the 10th over. But look now where they are. Another quick single. It could have been a run out. Sahan Narachige is so eager to get those quick singles and keep the scoreboard moving. comes Ravidu Fernando. Another single down to deep backward point. Score moves up to 86. Just another 21 runs required. Run by run, they're getting closer. They're getting closer and closer. Maliban. A good delivery from Ravidu Fernando. This darted in. There's not much loop there. Another good delivery, solidly defended by Sahana Rachige. Two slips in place. Played with soft hands by Sahana Rachige. Comes the last delivery of the over. Another quick single. And that concludes the 22nd. Maliban 87 for 4. Ramesh Mendis to continue. There's 2 overs to go in his spell. So far, he has done a good job. 8 overs, 3 wickets for just 24 runs. Short and pulled towards deep mid wicket. A welcome boundary for Sahana Rachige and Maliban. Short delivery, and there was no fielder down there at the boundary line. Easy pickings for Sahana Rachige. He's a well set batsman. He's never gonna miss out those opportunities. This game has completely turned out to a battle between spinners and the batters. We have not seen a fast bowler in this inning so far inside these 23 overs. It's that kind of a day for the fast bowlers as well. Quite unfortunate. But the required runs now down to 15. That was bounced. A quicker delivery from Ramesh Mendis. And another boundary for Sadun Taraka Mendy. And score moves up to 96. Full and hit away towards mid-on. Another boundary. The required runs now down to 11. 96 for 4 of Maliban. Try to work that away towards the onside. And that's the end of 23rd. Maliban 96 for 4. Here comes the Ravindu Fernando. The same field setup continues with 2 slips in place. A full toss. He could have hit that any part of this ground, but decided just to hit straight to short fine leg. Swept fine, but just a single. And the required runs now moved down to single digits. 9 runs required. Sahan Arachike is on 41. If he can get those 9 runs, he can complete his half century. That's out. Finally, something to cheer for Hayleys. He got his 5th. That's the prize wicket of Sahan Arachige. He had to play at it. Got a thin edge and a very good catch from the wicketkeeper Minod Banuka. Sahan Arachige departs for well-made 41. It's brilliant. It's well appreciated by his teammates. 41 for Sahan Arachige. Wanuja Sahan is the new batsman in for Maliban. A decent batter. Look at the average and the strike rate. And I'll look at the numbers. 11 half centuries and 1 century to his name. solidly defended that by Vanuja Sahan. A foolish delivery. Here comes Ravindu Fernando. Again and again. What a ripper to end the 24th. Maliban 98 for 5, required 9 runs to win. Here comes Ramesh Mendis, the skipper of Hayleys, into his last over. So far bowled 9 overs, 3 wickets for 33. Has done a damage in the early in the inning. Another single for Santun Taraka Mendis. The score moves up to 99. Ramesh Mendis is looking to attack and looking to get another 1 or 2 wickets. If he can do it in this over, things can be much more interesting. Another great delivery from Ramesh Mendis. Vanuja Sahan tried to push the ball but didn't have much of foot movement. Couldn't get to the pitch of the ball. Just threw his hands at it and missed it completely. Comes Ramesh Mendis. And that's a maximum from Vanuja Sahan. Pitched right on a middle stump and slogged it over deep mid wicket. What a shot, and what a way to get off the mark. There's 2 more runs required. Can he finish? Decided against it. Vanuja Sahan, the star man with the ball, now doing the job with the bat for his team. What an all-round cricketer. The scores are tied up 106 for 5 at the end of the 25th.
Right, so just 1 run away from victory. Santun Taraka Mendis on 27 of 39 and Vanuja Sahan 7 of 7. Here's Ravindu Fernando to bowl. Most probably will be the last over of this match. Off the edge is it, and they'll get a single just over the 2 slip fielders, and that single will take Maliban to a convincing win here at the MCA grounds, as they've beaten Hayleys by 5 wickets to record back-to-back victories in this MCA Super Premier League. Quite the comprehensive performance from Maliban after delivering well with the ball in hand. They have now chased this target down to win this match by 5 wickets. A happy camp, the Maliban, Sangeet Kure, the captain. All happy faces. Milan Ratnayaka coming in for the team. Hiranja Sundara there as well, delivered well with the bat in the previous game. Quite unfortunate today, but these were very, very, very tricky conditions to bat on. But look how Saduntaraka Mendis and Sahan Arachige batted on this tricky surface. They took their time and they were very, very proactive. I told this earlier as well. They took the charge onto the bowlers. Whenever the opportunity is presented, whenever the ball is full, they were not afraid to go for those big shots, and that I think is the main difference between how these batters approached from Hayleys and Maliban. A very contrasting difference between Saduntaraka Mendis, Sahan Arachige and the rest of the batters. But overall, Maliban, they'll be the pretty happy camp in this match at the end of the match here at the MCA grounds, the 32nd Singer-MCA Super Premier League 2025. Still the early days of the tournament, but Maliban, they preserve their unbeaten record. 2 back-to-back wins. First win against Fairfirst not too long ago at the same venue, and now they've beaten Hayleys, a star-studded Hayleys team, a packed side. But on this day, they've beaten Hayleys to make sure that they preserve their unbeaten record in this tournament and to get to the top of the points table as well. This is how it looked, the batting card for Maliban. It started out pretty horribly, I would say, for Maliban, as they lost 3 wickets early on, lost 4 wickets, I would say, early on. But Sahan Arachige and Saduntaraka Mendis, a very fine partnership, made sure that Maliban would cross the line and get to that winning total in just 25.1 overs. With 23 extras, they've made their way to 107. So looking into the bowling this is the Maliban bowling, so we'll look into the Hayleys bowling attack as well. Ramesh Mendis was the pick of the bowler. Ramesh Mendis, 10 overs, 41 runs and picked up 3 wickets, and then the rest of the spinners took control of the game, especially in the early stages of the game. But soon after the arrival of Sahan Arachige and Saduntaraka Mendis, things really got troubling for Hayleys bowlers, as they couldn't really consolidate themselves out in the middle to pick up wickets, because they didn't really have much runs on the board to defend. So taking wickets, that was the only option. But soon after that 10th over, nothing really worked out for Hayleys, as the partnership really made it difficult. Now let's have a look at the highlights. Now this is the start. As I mentioned earlier, Ramesh Mendis and Prabhat Jayasuriya started off things from both the ends for Hayleys, and they picked up wickets in regular intervals. This was Ramesh Mendis. That was the first wicket. Sangeet Kure, the captain to captain the battle, and Ramesh Mendis won that battle. And then in the same over, he picked up the wicket of Dhananjay Lakshan as well. And then Ravindra Rasanta, this was Hiran Jayasundara, was taken out in the deep. But then came Saduntaraka Mendis and Sahan Arachige, played some really good shots all around the park. Whenever that ball is full, they went for those big shots. We saw a couple of sixes, couple of boundaries, and they didn't really allow the bowlers to settle down out in those middle overs. At the start, the Hayleys bowlers were all over Maliban batters, but soon after those 2 batters got settled down out there at the centre, the bowlers were not able to take any inroads in, and that really was the undoing of Hayleys. This is Vanuj Hassan. Soon after he came, only 7 or 6 runs or rather 10 runs were required to win. He struck a 6 and won the game for Maliban Biscuits. So this is how it stands. A match summary. Hayleys won the toss. Remember, they won the toss and elected to bat first. Ramesh Mendis, the captain, but they were wrapped up for 106. 5 wickets for Vanuj Hassan, 3 for Saduntaraka Mendis, and Maliban Biscuits winning the match at the end, chasing in just 25.1 overs, and they won the match by 5 wickets. So that means Maliban Biscuits now stands pretty on top in that points table with 2 back-to-back wins, and Hayleys will drop down to second or maybe the third position, as we're still in the early days of the tournament. So hope you enjoyed our live coverage right here from the Mercantile Cricket Association grounds, and we have quite a lot of matches coming up as well live on Sporty.lk. But before wrapping up, let's have a look at the points table. Now, this is what I talked about. Maliban Biscuits at the top with 2 back-to-back wins with 6 points and a very healthy net run rate. That will help them quite a lot in the latter part of the tournament. And then CDBA at the second place, and Hayleys at the third with 1 loss and a win. HNB Fairfirst and BBK Partnerships yet to record a win in this tournament so far. So hope you enjoyed our live coverage, and we got a couple of matches going on across Colombo. 2 more matches live on Sporty.lk as well, and we'll be switching to you live next Wednesday with another MCA 32nd Singer-MCA Super Premier League match as well. So until then, stay tuned with us and have a good day. Thank you.